Alrighty, hey everyone, there I am. Hey everyone, how's it going? Thank you for joining me on this beautiful Friday. Hopefully you all can hear me. If you all can hear me, please give me a 1, 2, 3 in the chat, just so I know I am not talking to myself as I, typically do in these live streams when I forget to unmute my mic. So while we wait for that, thank you all for joining me again. Today is the 19th of March. 2021 is a beautiful Friday here in Fairfax, Virginia. Not a cloud in the sky. Fairly short presentation today. We do have some stuff that I wanted to cover. Okay, I see some 1, 2, 3s in the chat. Great, cool. So let's just go ahead and get right into this stream. Main monitor, there we go. Close that up. Cool. So this is the 9th meeting of the semester. Thank you again for joining me. We're going to start off with a quick game of Kahoot. One that hopefully Abigail will not win this time. Then I have an important announcement regarding leadership of the team over the next couple of semesters that I want to update you on. Then just some minor team updates, and then we will get into the meeting. So first off, we're going to start with a game of Kahoot. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of here, and if you all go to kahoot.it, you all can play along, and hopefully this will be a good one. It's 5 questions. 30 seconds each. It's a variety of questions. So there's a few about solar car races. There's I think one about NASA, and there's one about something else that I just completely forgot. I think it's about George Mason history. So it's a kind of a variety of questions for today. We'll wait till about 7 or 8 people join, then we'll get started. Abigail, first to join. Mike, Rashiel, okay. Let's get a few more people in here and then we'll get started. I should do prizes for these or something. I don't know. Maybe I should give away some like Hypernova solar merch. That's something we need. We need more solar car merch. If we could have like a website that like sells our own branded stuff, that would be cool. That's something I've always wanted to do. Turn Hypernova Solar into like a brand or a vibe. I never got around to it. Got Sean and Jacob in here. We'll wait for maybe 2 or 3 more people before we get started. If anyone wants to join, you just go to kahoot.it and type in the code 2834567. Hey, that's interesting. 34567. Nice. Wyatt with 2 exclamation points joined. Let's get one more person in here and then I'll start it. If no one joins in the next 30 seconds, then we'll get started with what we have. Matt. Okay. Matt is the last person to join, so we will get started with this group. So let us start. Kahoot at home. Hypernova Solar meeting. Let me make this full screen. And we are started. The very first question is, what is the name of the latest NASA rocket that was tested for the first time yesterday? I'm going to turn off my webcam here so you all can see questions better. What is the name of the NASA rocket, the newest NASA rocket that was tested for the first time yesterday? If any of you all are space nerds like myself, you'll have watched this live stream of this test. Is it Starship? Is it Space Launch System or SLS? Is it Super Heavy or is it Orion? Got 5 answers in. It's missing 2 answers. 1 second left. 2 people didn't answer. Ooh, most of you got it. It was the Space Launch System. The gigantic waste of taxpayer money that is. The 2 people who were tricked were thinking it was called Super Heavy, which is the name of the latest SpaceX rocket, not the latest NASA rocket. So let's see who got that one right. Next. So that was Matt, Jacob, and Sean. Abigail, surprisingly, did not get that question. But I just realized that my live stream went down. Can I like pause this? No, I can't. Well, that's a rough one. George Mason University internet sucks. So that's what I get for streaming from my dorm. The question was, what year did George Mason make it to the Final Four? That's just like a required piece of Patriot knowledge. If you go to this school, you have to know that we made it to the Final Four back in 2006. Nobody got that, so we're just going to call that one a wipe and move on to the next question. Question number 3. What year was the very first World Solar Challenge run in Australia? So what year was the very first World Solar Challenge? Solar Car is actually a pretty old competition. People don't realize that the World Solar Challenge has been running for a while. I don't know if the World Solar Challenge was the first ever Solar Car competition, but I know it's the longest running. Oh, okay. So everyone answered a question, but not everyone got it. It was 1987. Ever since 1987, the World Solar Challenge has been occurring every other year. 1987 being the first one. So yeah, Solar Car is an old competition. See who got that? Rushiel and Abigail were the 2 people who got it. So it's kind of like a tie for first right now. Let's move on to question 4. What was the average speed of the winner of the very first World Solar Challenge? 1987, General Motors Sun Racer car won the World Solar Challenge. Do you know what was their average speed across the multi-day competition from North to South Australia? Was it 31 miles per hour, 42 miles per hour, 53 miles per hour, or 61 miles per hour? Got all 7 answers in. Let's see who got this one right. Ooh, okay. Pretty good spread. I didn't actually expect anyone to actually know this. I assume you all probably just used your critical thinking skills and guessed. But 42 miles per hour. So not that fast for these old cars. Old cells, old motors, low efficiency, so they have to run at low speeds. Let's move on to the final question. Now that we see Jacob and Alex Hughes, whoever the heck that is, has taken up near the lead. The final question is, what was the average speed of the winner of the most recent World Solar Challenge? So we know the very first Solar Challenge had a top speed of 42 miles per hour, which is 67 kilometers an hour. But what was the top speed of Angoria, who won the 2019 World Solar Challenge? I know these are in different units. I should have done them both in kilometers an hour, but, so it goes. Man, that is a very pretty car. I really like that aesthetic. Only one person got this right. It was 86.6 kilometers an hour, or almost 20 kilometers an hour faster than the 1987 winner. So, pretty good guesses overall. I kind of clumped those a little bit too closely together, I guess. But let's see who ended up winning this week's Kahoot. 3rd place, we got Matt, who I believe got the very first question. Didn't get anyone after that. We got Alex Hughes, who I don't know if that's like a joke on my name or what's going on here. And the winner was Jacob, who also got the last 2 questions, got both the speed questions right. He probably cheated. Not throwing out accusations here, but good job, Jacob, for winning this week's Kahoot game. I see a lot of chatter going on over in the live stream. So, thank you all for playing. That was fun. I always like doing Kahoots because it makes me actually do some research on solar car stuff. So let's just get on to the rest of the presentation. We do have an important announcement that I'd like to make today and just get on with. The first thing that I want to say is there will not be an in-person meeting tomorrow in Manassas. Johnny says he is really busy with senior design, and he's also kind of angry at the school for not allowing him to do overtime. So he cannot have our meetings on Saturday, at least this Saturday. I did negotiate to try and get time next Saturday, but we should really start thinking about possibly moving Solar Car out of the build space, at least temporarily, and going somewhere else to work on Orion. I can move it to my house. Maybe we can move it to another workshop and get someone else to weld it. I don't know. Whatever you all think. If we could get Orion moved so we could actually get it running sooner rather than later. Just some weekly purchase stuff. We did get a bunch of stuff in this week. Not a bunch, 2 things. We got the new harness because we need a second harness for because we only previously bought one. We also just got our coilovers, and these coilovers are absolutely massive. I don't know if you all can see the size of these things. Like, holy crap, Rushiel, what did you make me buy? Like, look at this. Like, this thing is like the size of my arm, and it weighs like 10 pounds. Like if you compare them to the coilovers that are on the Orion solar car, these things are massive. So you have them. Hopefully they work. The last thing is we also bought the belt for solar car, for the belt printer. Sorry, that was a very expensive purchase, and I may or may not have drained the entire Hypernova Solar Foundation account using that money. But don't worry, it will be reimbursed by the school within the next 2 weeks. So yeah, that's stuff. Just for sub-team meeting schedules, kind of the same schedule as last week. The main thing is that suspension is now happening Mondays at 7:15 p.m. As you all probably noticed this week, I cannot jump into all of these meetings just because I'm busy with other work. So I'm really relying on the leads of each of these sub-teams to be in charge of making sure members show up. So, reminding your members of these meetings and just making sure everyone's there for them. You know, I kind of took lead on some of these sub teams, making sure that people knew when they were happening, but I just can't do that anymore. I really need leads to take over that. So I'm going to be trying to hold leads accountable for making sure their sub team meetings are scheduled for this week. So the main thing I want to talk about today was the leadership updates for the team. So as you all know, the leadership team is graduating this this spring. That the main 3 people who are graduating are myself and the 2 mechanical captains, Mac and Abigail. We are all seniors, and we will all be graduating in just a few short weeks now. So the question is, who is going to be leading the solar car team starting in the fall? First off, I'm not going to be leaving the team. I'm not just walking out of here after I graduate. I will still always be affiliated with Hypernova Solar, but I obviously cannot be president because I will not be a student here, and there's a lot of things I cannot do as a student. And I also might not be in the area starting over the summer or in the fall. So we need a new president of Hypernova Solar. So over the past few weeks, I've been talking to a few people. We did a president application. And we have decided on who the next president of Hypernova Solar will be. And I am proud to introduce the next president of Hypernova Solar will be Mike Riggy. So Mike will be the official lead of Hypernova Solar starting in the summers of 2021. So make sure you give him a round of applause and send him a congratulations on Discord. So what does this mean? So Mike is going to be leading a lot of really cool stuff over the coming semesters. With him as lead, Hypernova Solar will be the main engineering organization at George Mason starting in the fall. So when students return, Hypernova Solar is going to be the thing they want to join because there's no other active engineering organizations going on at the school right now. With his help, we will utilize Orion to help increase membership, outreach, and sponsorship for the team. And he will also lead the finish of Hypernova 1 and even possibly start the development of Hypernova 2. So there's a lot of really cool stuff happening over the coming few semesters, and I'm really excited about seeing the team take off, especially starting in the fall under his leadership. So how will this leadership change happen? The key thing is starting today, Mike will become the vice president of the team, and me and him will be working together to ensure smooth transition of power. I will remain basically the lead for the next couple months, and just making sure that everything kind of goes smoothly as it goes from me managing the day-to-day operations of the team to both me and Mike managing the day-to-day operations of the team. So I'm not leaving, I'm not going anywhere. It's going to be a very smooth transition of power throughout the rest of the spring semester and throughout the summer and probably throughout the fall as well. So what about the other leads? As I said, I'm going to remain on the team in an unknown capacity. It depends where I go. If I'm here in the fall, I will still plan to make meetings, especially the in-person ones. But I am applying to a lot of jobs out on the West Coast, so if I'm not here, I'm only going to be able to make virtual meetings, and I'm only going to be able to help in a virtual capacity. If I'm here in the area, then I'll obviously still help with physical stuff and all that jazz. Abigail has also expressed interest in remaining on the team. We have yet to see how that stuff will go. We're thinking about possibly forming a board. Who knows how this stuff. There's a lot of unknowns going on, and it really depends on how COVID is going to play out and how jobs and life in general. So we'll see how this all works out over the summer. All I can guarantee you is that Hypernova Solar is going to be freaking lit in the fall. So there's that. So I just wanted to read chat quickly. Sorry. So I was reading chat to see if there's any things going on there. If you all can type in a 1, 2, 3 just to make sure you all can still hear me, that would be fantastic. And while I do that, or while you all do that, I will go ahead and finish up with the updates for today. So same updates kind of as last week. For the frame sub-team, Matt, we need to make sure that that bar was lowered for the interior sub-team to make sure that the vision requirements are met. Okay, I see a bunch of 1, 2, 3s. Good, so I know I'm not talking to myself. I know, Matt, you were having trouble with Fusion 360 not working last week. Let's see if we could get that working again this week. Otherwise, I'll need one of the twins to go in and help fix that. Boat printer is rapidly approaching completion. The CAD is now about 80% complete. We have purchased the belt, which is like the big thing in this printer. The belt is like literally like 70% of the cost of this thing. And yeah, now it's really just printing. We need to find a place that can actually start cutting and drilling the metal, somewhere that's not the build space, because we need some special tools to actually modify these pieces, like a CNC router. But yeah, build printer is going great. So other than that, we're just going to jump straight into the meeting. If you all need me, shoot me a message. I'm just going to be jumping around different sub-teams today. And yeah, feel free to shoot me any questions, and make sure you say congratulations to Mike if you see him in the Discord today. Other than that, I will see you all over there.